Welcome to today's Global News Update. Experts question whether immigration has been masking weaknesses in Canada's economy. Immigration lawyers warn public about identity theft and fraudulent services. Canada issues warning about immigration marriage fraud schemes. Chicago prosecutor defends actions in immigration protest investigation. New citizenship rules raise questions about Canadian passport processing. Report claims immigration has been driving much of Canada's GDP growth. British Columbia invites hundreds of skilled workers and entrepreneurs. Europe reports success reducing illegal immigration through policy reforms. Lawyer misses court appearance in immigration worker protection case. Temporary residence processing times show signs of improvement. Economic experts are examining the extent to which elevated immigration levels helped sustain Canada's economic performance during the pandemic recovery period. While immigration contributed to labor force growth, consumer spending, and housing demand, some analysts argue it may have obscured underlying productivity and investment challenges. The debate centers on whether GDP growth accurately reflected improvements in living standards. Policymakers continue balancing immigration objectives with long-term economic sustainability. Immigration lawyers across Canada are warning that fraudsters are stealing professional identities and using them to market unauthorized immigration services. Victims are reportedly being misled into paying fees or sharing sensitive personal information. Legal organizations are encouraging applicants to verify credentials and use only licensed representatives. Authorities continue investigating fraud complaints while promoting public awareness campaigns. The Canadian government is warning citizens about marriage fraud schemes connected to immigration applications. Officials say some individuals may enter relationships primarily to secure immigration status rather than establish genuine partnerships. Immigration experts advise Canadians to be cautious and understand the legal consequences of participating in fraudulent sponsorship arrangements. The warning comes amid continued efforts to protect the integrity of Canada's immigration system. A federal prosecutor in Chicago has responded to criticism regarding alleged involvement in grand jury proceedings tied to an immigration protest investigation. Legal observers are examining whether appropriate boundaries were maintained during the process. The case has attracted attention from civil liberties advocates and immigration groups. Experts say the outcome may influence future discussions surrounding prosecutorial conduct and protest-related investigations. Changes to Canadian citizenship eligibility are expected to create a surge in applications, prompting questions about passport processing capacity. Immigration specialists say thousands of newly eligible individuals may seek citizenship and travel documents over the coming months. Government agencies are reviewing operational readiness while working to maintain service standards. Experts say effective planning will be essential to avoid significant processing delays. Researchers examining Canada's economic performance say immigration has contributed significantly to headline GDP growth by increasing the labor force and consumer base. Critics argue that population-driven growth may not always translate into higher productivity or improved living standards. Supporters note that immigration remains essential for addressing labor shortages and demographic challenges. The discussion continues to influence economic and immigration policy debates across the country. The province of British Columbia has conducted a new immigration draw, inviting skilled workers and entrepreneurs to apply through provincial nomination pathways. The invitations target sectors experiencing labor shortages and support efforts to attract talent and investment. Immigration experts say provincial programs remain an important component of Canada's broader immigration strategy. Additional draws are expected as provinces continue addressing workforce demands. European policymakers say reforms involving border controls, asylum procedures, and international cooperation have contributed to reductions in illegal immigration. Supporters argue the approach demonstrates that migration pressures can be addressed without highly aggressive enforcement tactics. Critics caution that outcomes vary significantly between countries and regions. The developments continue to influence immigration policy discussions throughout Europe and beyond. Court proceedings involving worker protection measures for immigrants were disrupted after a lawyer reportedly failed to appear as scheduled. The case concerns allegations related to labor standards, worker treatment, and immigration-related employment protections. Legal observers say the proceedings may face delays while the matter is addressed. The case highlights ongoing concerns regarding protections for vulnerable workers. Immigration authorities report that processing times for temporary residence applications have improved following efforts to reduce backlogs and modernize workflows. Applicants seeking study permits, visitor visas, and temporary work permits may experience faster decisions in some categories. Experts say continued investment in digital systems and staffing has contributed to better performance. Officials remain focused on maintaining service standards while managing strong application demand.